So we are going to be talking about recycle or recycling, which means to give a new life or to new cycle of any item. So there are many different types of rubbish or garbage that ends up in our oceans and waters, from plastic bags to food containers and even straws. Some take longer than others to break down. If you pick one of these items that are often found in the ocean, how long will you think that they take to break down? You can talk about how long you think each item will take to break down. Perhaps I could say, I think that a straw takes 2 months to break down. So, how much do you think? Well, let me give you some list. An apple core, which is the inside of the apple after you've eaten it, stays 2 months to break down. A fishing line, which is made of nylon, takes 600 years. Newspapers take 6 weeks. A plastic shopping bag take from 10 to 100 years. Wow. So a plastic bottle, which we find many around, takes 450 years. A tin can of Coke, perhaps, will take 50 years. A disposable diapers, yes, those that the kids wear, the baby wear, takes 450 years. Cigarettes takes 1 to 5 years to break down. Plastic straws take 100 to 500 years. So I was very mistaken. And a cardboard box of those of the cereals will take 2 months. So that's a lot. What do you think about this? Did you know all of this? Well, if you didn't, now you do. So I think that we have to do something about it. Items made of plastic take longer to break down. Plastic bottles take about 450 years, and plastic shopping bags take between 10 to 100 years. It will depend on the quality of each. Even smaller items, such as a plastic straw, can take 100 to 500 years to break down. That's too much. Other items, such as fishing lines, can take up to 600 years. Imagine that much, as they are made of plastic and other man made materials. Plastic rubbish isn't the only thing found in our oceans. Sometimes you can find pieces of food. Rubbish such as apple cores, cigarettes, and tin cans have also been found. And there, the apple cores take 2 months to break down. And as we saw in the previous list, cigarettes can take 1 to 5 years, and tin cans can take 50 years. Hmm. So, other types of rubbish found in the oceans include newspapers, cardboard boxes, and even diapers. Yes, the stinky ones from the babies. Newspapers take 6 weeks to break down, and cardboard boxes take up to 2 months. So many people are surprised to learn that disposable diapers will take 450 years to break down. Oh my. So, did you know that it takes 24 trees to make 1 little ton of newspaper? Yep. It's like putting a one tree into the garbage. One recycled glass bottle would save enough energy to power a computer for 25 minutes. Ooh, you can navigate through YouTube a lot. Recycling creates four jobs for every one job created in the disposal industries. This means that the industry that recycles materials creates four jobs for four people when the disposal industry creates only one for one person. So there will be more jobs available if we create more recycling industries. Recycling one aluminum can saves enough energy to run a TV for 3 hours. Ooh, you can see a lot of cartoons in 3 hours. The amount of wood and paper we throw away each year is enough to heat 50 million homes for 20 years. Oh my, that's a lot. Don't you think so? So, we must implement the 3 R's. Do you know what this is? Well, it's about reduce, reuse, and recycle. But let's check on it. Okay, so we reuse, that means to give a new use to the item. We reduce, that means to shorten the amount. And we recycle, that means to give it a new cycle, okay, to the item. So let's check it out. This little video may be of help.
Hello, I am the Earth. Yep, the very planet you live on. There are three words which start with the letter R, which I love. They are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Do you know why I love them so much? Because they are almost magical words. They can make all living things, as well as myself, be happier. I said that they're almost magical because without your help, it won't work. They need all of you children in order to do the trick. Each and every one of you are the real 3 R's magicians, those three words which can change the world. Do you want to know how? Yes? Well, let's find out. The first R is for reduce. If you think about it, there are many things you don't need. When you go to the supermarket, I'm sure you can take your own canvas bags instead of using disposable ones given to you. Like that, you will be reducing the amount of plastic, which is very contaminating. And I'm sure that you don't need to print out so many documents or photos, nor leave lights, television, or computers on when you're not using them. If you remember this, you'll be reducing the amount of paper being used as well as energy, and in turn will be helping to reduce the contamination. And these are just a few examples. I am sure you can think of many more different ways to reduce what you are using or creating unnecessary waste. The following question will help you with this task. Do I really need this, or is this just a whim? The second R is for recycling. Now, it is easier than ever to recycle things we don't need anymore so that they can be reused. Near your home, you can find places like the recycling station and containers for cans, plastic, paper, or organic waste. They each have specific colors to make it easier to identify. By using them, you will avoid contaminating nature, the rivers and seas, as well as the atmosphere, which is the air we breathe. And finally, we have the third R, which refers to reuse. How many things do you think we can reuse again and again instead of throwing them away? Let's see. A piece of paper that has only one side printed on, a carton box, a plastic bottle. You think now. Just a little bit of imagination, I'm sure you can come up with many more exciting and fun new uses for them. And remember, if you apply the 3 R's rule, you will make me a much cleaner planet with less contamination and where we can all enjoy a better life. Because, as you know, children can make a world of difference.
So, yes, you can be the magicians. So, let's see some example of reducing. Reducing means to make it less amount. So, instead of buying 3 boxes of cereal, you can get one family size that will bring the same amount of the 3 boxes in a big carton, but it will be making only 1 box to recycle then. So you need to avoid lots of packaging. So buy bigger packages with a lot more amount. That way you won't have to get so many packages left. So to reuse, you can use again different items like containers or maybe something that you can give it a new life. And you can also reuse the shopping bags, and that's something very easy to do. The bags, instead of taking plastic, you can use the former bags that you can take for, and you can do not need to throw them away. You will use it again and again. So, in recycle, you need to take the proper items into the correct bins. For them, the industry will dispose of it. Or you as well can donate gently used clothes to people in need, or perhaps toys, books, or any of furniture. There's many things you can reuse or recycle. And of course, you can reduce by thinking if you need it or not. For recycling, you need to be aware that it has to go in different cans or garbage trashes, because you need to put the glass by itself, the plastic in alone, and the cans alone, as well as carton or newspapers or any other material you decide to recycle. So, what is this important? Because recycling helps families to save money because they pay for less disposal. As well, generally, recycling produces less air and water pollution that will give manufacturing with new materials. By recycling, you send less materials to landfills, which will keep them from the future. Proper disposal and recycling will prevent water and soil contamination and its potential adverse impacts on public health. So let's start recycling. So we have to recycle and save the earth. So I'm going to tell you some important information, interesting facts. Almost 25 million tons of non hazardous waste were disposed on a per capita basis of 721 kilograms of waste was made by only one person. That was 1/3 of it came from residential sources. That means your houses. The total amount of materials diverted for recycling was 236 kilograms per person. That means that more than half of it ended in a landfill. So that's a concern that landfills are reaching capacity, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to find new sites for new ones because they're all filled with houses. So recycle and dress up. Become a savior of the earth. That's all, folks. See you later.